morning. Welcome back to First Pitch. I'm your host, Ty Comer, along with head coach Ryan Brittle. Coach, we had such an exciting week. We had 6 games in a span of 6 days.
Exciting for who?
Well, exciting for the players, exciting for the fans. I know it was good for me to see my family. My family came down.
I was looking in the mirror a couple of days ago, and I started seeing a lot more gray hair.
Right.
Here.
Yeah, I was checking myself the other day for it, just to make sure I still had all mine. So what we're talking about is basically the Emory and Henry. We left off with that. We had a walk-off that day, Thursday, or I guess that was Wednesday, and we talked about that on the show Thursday. So we're back to you on Tuesday now, excuse me, it's Wednesday. We had a 3-game series with Peace, which we swept. The first game we won 10-4. Doesn't really tell the entire story of that ball game. That was a tight ball game as well fought by both teams until about the 8th inning, I believe, and then we stretched it out to a 10-3, 10-4 ball game.
Hunter Peck pitched first game on Friday. Did a good job. Didn't have his best stuff, but still went out and competed and gave us a chance to win. It was close. And I don't remember what the score was, but I think by the 8th inning we scored 2 or 3 runs and kind of broke the game open a little bit, which was good to see us do late in the game. And it's kind of our philosophy to try and grind on people and win ball games late. And then the second game of the series, Weaver pitched well. We were down towards the end of the ball game and ended up, I think maybe it was a tie ball game in the 8th or 9th inning, and ended up walking off with a win. I think you got a big hit late in that game.
Did I?
But it was a good weekend for us. Saturday was the same way. In fact, I know the particulars of that game because we've had so many exciting finishes in our ball games. My old brain doesn't remember all of them except for maybe the last one. But we were down 5-2 in the 8th inning in that game. Scored 1 in the 8th, and then we scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. We had first and second, 1 out. Drew Callahan at the plate, and he hits a double down the left field line. And Brandon West ended up scoring the game-winning run to walk off that game too. So 3 of the 4 wins we had this past week were walk-off victories at home, and really gave us an opportunity to build some confidence as a team, to understand that we should never give up, and to kind of move us forward, especially the young guys. Got a little excitement under their belts, and I hope that we don't have to walk off all of our games, but if we have to, we have to, and a win's a win. But in particular, we talked about this over the weekend, is when you win close ball games, it's a whole lot different in my book than winning a game where, like the first ball game where we kind of separated ourselves and won a 10-4 ball game. When you win one-run ball games, it really teaches you how to win ball games and to have confidence in yourself at the end. So it was good.
And what's becoming or it has been for a while now, including last year, it's a theme that this starting pitching is going to put us in great position to win ball games. It's going to put us, even when they don't have their best stuff, like you said, we've got 3 guys, they go out there on the weekends and they will grind out their outings. Joey Pride did not score much behind him on Sunday, or I guess I shouldn't say Sunday, I'm used to saying Sunday, but on Saturday. But Joey grinded it out, gave us a chance to win the ball game, ended up giving up a home run late, I believe, that ended up pulling him from the ball game, but like I said, kept us in it, gave us a chance to win the game.
Yeah, 7 solid innings out of Pride. It gives up 4 runs, and 2 of those are the first 2 hitters of the 8th inning. And so great outing for him, great outing for Weave and Peck. And then, we have a bullpen. We have 4, more than 4 guys in our bullpen, but 4 guys in particular that we feel very comfortable with on the mound. 7 guys as a whole. Our 3 starters on the weekend, and Trevor Odie and Jared Talley, Jake Holland, and Brandon Turner. Those 7 guys, we'll pitch them against anybody at any time and feel completely comfortable with those guys on the mound. And so the bullpen guys have also done a great job of holding guys down at the end and giving us an opportunity to win some ball games at the end. And then on Sunday we got some weather Monday night, this past Monday night, so we decided to move the Cortland State game up to Sunday, which made 6 games in 6 days for us. And we had our young guys on the mound Sunday. We pitched Hunter Campbell and Daniel Wade. Brandon Turner threw an inning, and Jacob Tomlin and Drew Callahan, and then Tally got the last out of the game. But those guys stepped it up on Sunday against a team that's ranked number 3 in the country. Been to the World Series 14 years in a row, so we knew we were going to face a good solid club, and those young pitchers. And if those guys start to pitch good, which I think they're headed that way, we're going to be really tough to beat even during the midweek. And Daniel Wade and Hunter Campbell and Drew Callahan in particular pitched pretty good that day and gave us a chance to win, even though we brought the winning run to the plate in the last inning. But we came out on the short end of a 5-3 ball game against the number 3 team in the country. And it's always good, and I told our guys this during the game. We know that we can play with those guys. We haven't proven to ourselves that we can beat those guys yet, though.
Right.
And but we know that we're good enough to play with anybody in the country. And the one thing I was disappointed in throughout this whole stretch is that I thought that we were just happy to be in the ball game with Cortland and have an opportunity to have a close game and win it if we got lucky, but if we didn't, then we were close. And that kind of irritated me on Sunday, but we'll get our program back to where Coach Naff and all those guys in the 90s had us, where they know that they're one of the best teams in the country, and when those opportunities present themselves, we'll be able to win some games.
And a quick question for you that has just arisen in my mind just a couple days ago. Do you think that with all these comebacks that we have mounted, that the sense of urgency until the 8th or 9th inning is it's a little lower than what it needs to be?
It is. I think that it is. Although in the Cortland State game, we came out and I thought we had a sense of urgency. We scored 2 runs in the first inning, had some hits, and had a little bit of momentum going. And that's just, with as many young guys as we have, it's something that you have to teach. You have to teach them how to win. Mm-hmm. They come from such a varied background of high school programs. I can remember when I was in high school, way back when, that we only won 4 games my junior year and 4 games my senior year. When I came here to Ferrum, I looked around after a couple weeks and go, these guys think they're going to win every single game. And that was foreign to me because I never won in baseball. And some of the guys that we have on our team are the same way. And so it's something that you have to learn, how to win ball games and how to do it over 9 innings is something that you also have to learn.
Yep. So then this weekend we can, or I guess before I get to the weekend, tomorrow we will have a home game here against Hampden-Sydney. They took the win over us 14-11. We came out really slow. Didn't compete very well, and then ended up grinding our way back into a ball game. But I'm looking forward to hopefully the same kind of outing that we got out of those guys on Sunday against Cortland, this Thursday against Hampden-Sydney.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm confident that that's most likely that's what's going to happen. I don't think we have another game like we did at Hampden-Sydney. Hampden-Sydney's a great ball club; they swing it well, but they're solid, but they're not going to do that again. I don't believe. So really ready to take that challenge on, and it's always nice to try to go after somebody that's already beaten you once.
Yeah. So we have a home game tomorrow, which is Thursday, March the 16th at 3 p.m. against Hampden-Sydney, and need to get back. You need to get the taste of that loss on Sunday out of our mouth. Get back to winning ball games, and hopefully our legs are a little fresh. We gave the guys 2 days off, Monday, Tuesday off. We're gonna have some practice today, even though it's bitter cold today.
Very cold.
The wind's blowing, but we're gonna get some work done today and hit the field tomorrow and be ready to go and move ourselves on into the weekend. And a big matchup with Maryville on the road this weekend. So we're looking forward to that.
Right now we are 4th in the conference. Maryville is one of those 3 teams ahead of us. They are in third. So that is a big weekend down in Maryville, Tennessee. Always a pretty tough atmosphere to go down and try to win some ball games in. They're going to have some good pitchers. I know they've had a few guys win Pitcher of the Week or Rookie Pitcher of the Week, so it'll be a nice little challenge for our hitters.
Yeah, they got 2 lefties on the mound this weekend, so that'll be a little bit different. We faced 2 lefties against Christopher Newport when we went down there and played them, but Evan Hefner, and they have a rookie, another rookie lefty on the mound. So we'll have our work cut out for us offensively, defensively, and really, Ty, defensively is the area that if we clean it up defensively, then we become really, really difficult to beat. If you go back through the Cortland State game on Sunday, if we make plays that we should have made, we're winning the ball game in the 9th inning instead of losing it.
Yep.
And so anyway, that's where we are. But Maryville's always going to be tough. They're always going to be tough at home. They've got some pitching. They're kind of very similar to us. They got some pitching and they got a couple guys that can run it out of the yard offensively, but haven't been swinging the bats that well, and neither have we. But it'll be great. It'll be great competition, and look forward to going down there. And Coach Church has done a really good job over the last couple of years of rebuilding that program, and they're going to be good for a long time.
So now we'll move on to the questions. God bless your brother, because he sends them in every week.
Gotta love my brother. He loves Ferrum baseball as much as I do.
So I'm taking this first question that he asked as one for me. I'm gonna take that as the way he meant it. How do you feel the locker room mood is with a team that's 500 at this point in the season? Is there a fire in some of the guys to really dig deep and try to make the postseason, especially after last year was so close? Last year was a whole different year for me because we've got almost a whole new ball club. We got a bunch of young guys. There is a lot of fire in these guys, but it's like you said, we have to kind of teach them how to go about
Sometimes misdirected.
Yeah, we have to teach them how to go about winning and getting into those postseason situations. Also, we're 500, but we're also 4-2 in the conference, and conference is what's at this point probably going to matter. We've lost 9 ball games. It's going to be hard to get in that large bid unless we win out.
Correct.
So right now the focus is really on conference play. We have a really good chance. We're in 4th place right now. We play, I think, 2 of the teams that are ahead of us. The only one that's not on our schedule will be LaGrange. We'll hopefully meet up with them in the conference tournament. But yeah, like you said, there is a fire, and especially for me, this being the last go around, I'm ready to get after it. So then, for you, Coach Brittle, how do you balance the health and fatigue of players, especially freshmen?
Well, I'll tell you what we do. We take a hat just like this, and we put everybody's name in it,
And then
we shake it up, and then we just start pulling names out of the hat
Right.
to see who's in the lineup. But no, it is a constant narrative and constant conversation in our coaches' meetings about who do we need to play, who do we need to give time off to, because the young guys are tired. They are getting banged up. They are figuring out what college baseball is all about and playing 4 or 5 games a week and playing 9-inning games 4 or 5 times a week. So it is a constant thing that we talk about, and they just gonna have to suck it up and play ball.
Yeah, right.
You know, they gotta go to class, get their grades, and they gotta suck it up and play ball. So, but it is something that's always on my mind, and we've been rotating guys in and out, trying to keep guys' legs fresh, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Is there any in-season conditioning, or does that just complicate fatigue and injuries?
There is a little bit of in-season conditioning, but most of it comes from the guys that are on the field, running on and off the field. Sometimes we have the guys in the dugouts run down to the left field line and back, but not a ton. We try to get some lifts in, but it's difficult to do that as well. Guys get lifting in on their own, but we bust you guys' tails pretty good in the fall and early spring, and you guys should be in pretty good shape at this point.
Well, and the way you've said it a bunch, the way we practice is just different. It's the speed of it is a lot quicker. There are balls flying around. When we're taking BP and we're rolling double plays off live balls, we turn one, there's another one coming right afterwards. So you have to be ready. You have to be in good shape to practice with us, and I think that's part of our conditioning as well.
Sure.
So with that, all that being said, thank you, Eric, for sending in some more questions. He said at the end, great job. I'll have more next week. So.
I'm sure he will, and he has questions all week long for me.
That's right.
Our assistant AD, our sports information director, Gary Holden, wanted to know about pitchers' pitch counts and wanted to know how extending pitchers or when the pitchers start and pitch at the beginning of the year, how they extend throughout the year. And to answer Gary's question is, typically at the beginning of the year, we have our starters anyway, or everybody's always on a pitch count. We always keep track of every pitch they throw, but they typically begin the year throwing 75 to 80 pitches in the start. And they'll build themselves up. We'll add 10, 15 pitches, something like that, as we go along until they get to 3-4 starts into the year. And then as they get there, most of our guys throw roughly 100 pitches, depending on. So if a guy has a ton of stress on him in the early innings, maybe has a 25 or 30 pitch inning, one of the first 2 or 3 innings, that's going to take more out of him than having 12 to 15 pitches over an 8-inning span and throwing 100 and 110 pitches. If he throws 90 pitches and throws 30 in the first inning, then that's going to take more out of him than 110 over an 8-inning span. So as far as relievers go, typically as the season goes on, the starters get extended out longer, so you need less relievers. We've thrown probably 12, 13 pitchers this year. That number will begin to shrink because we'll be able to extend our starters out during their starts, and the number of relievers that we'll have to have, the innings that we'll have to pitch will go down. At least that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
If you have good starters, and we do have good starters. I feel like our top 3 guys could pitch for anybody in the league and would start for anybody in the league, and then those 4 core relievers that we talked about earlier, the guys that their innings are gonna start to go up because they're gonna get more and more innings as we go along. So, and we always have the JV games for the rest of the guys to pitch in to continue to keep them developing and their innings going up.
And we did have one of those canceled because of that weather that we had. So.
We did. We had a double header with University of Charleston, West Virginia, canceled on Monday because of the rain/snow that we were supposed to get Monday night, which we only got rain. So hope that answers your question, Gary, and
Perfect.
helps anybody else out there who's thinking about how we do our pitching.
So with all that being said, we are done here this week for this edition of Ferrum Baseball, our first pitch with Coach Ryan Brittle. We will be back next week, Tuesday. Do you know the date of that, Coach?
21st.
The 21st of March. So see you back here soon. I'm Ty Comer.